Hi guys, one of the things DUP MP Ian Paisley hates about the European Union is its protectionism. How in his eyes it's against the idea of a free market, and how it would protect failing industries in Europe against that reality. Another thing the DUP doesn't seem to believe in is climate change. So it was interesting to hear him deliver a speech in defence of the British bus building sector and demand that the UK government protect it from the free market in general and Chinese manufacturing in particular. British workers need to bring stuff home, is what the DUP MP claimed. Sadly, he didn't think of such things when he campaigned for barriers to trade as a result of Brexit.
There's something like 10,000 people currently employed in the supply chain of manufacturing buses across the United Kingdom. Electronics engineers, hydrogen engineers, manufacturers, engineers of steel. And all of this is being undermined by a policy that was put in place to build beautiful, British-made, clean, green, better buses. And I'm pleading, not on behalf of the companies, so they're big companies, but I'm pleading on behalf of the workers across the United Kingdom who are entitled to these jobs, who are entitled to bring stuff home to their wives and families and their husbands and families, and to make sure that these jobs stay in British hands. Now, I'm not arguing that we buy an inferior product, because the fact of the matter is that the British-made buses, whether they're made by Switch, by Wrightbus or Alexander Dennis, are the leading cutting-edge buses in the world. And that is shown because they not only manufacture for this country, but other countries actually demand those buses. But we can't go in and undercut other bus companies in countries that make buses. The countries that buy buses of us don't actually make buses in their home country. And so we're competing in a fair market. But unfortunately, one of the largest countries in the world, the Chinese state, is manufacturing buses, subsidising the manufacture of those buses, and seeing that technology come here, and it's undermining us. And I think we really have to take a good, long, hard look at this and ask the question, is that really where we want to be?
Okay, so you're asking for protectionism. Is that what you're asking for, Ian Paisley? Now, what he's referring to, of course, is the Mayor of London buying buses from BYD, a Chinese manufacturer. Now, why did the Mayor of London buy buses from BYD? Well, he has explained that the buses are £100,000 cheaper. So each bus, £400,000, it's £100,000 cheaper than the average bus. So he wants to achieve his goals about when it comes to reducing emissions. So he's relying on BYD, and he's also saving the London itself money by relying on BYD. But what Ian Paisley is saying instead, no, what we need instead is we need to convince, force, require, I don't know, the Mayor of London to buy buses from Britain. So he wants the Mayor of London to spend more money for the same or an inferior product. Now, he said we don't want inferior products. Okay, let's say that they're the same product, but you want him to spend more money. How could he justify that? How could he justify spending more money just because it's a British product? Well, you said, well, because it's about protecting British workers. But you campaigned for Brexit. You can't turn around now and say, I actually care about British workers. You don't care about British workers. When it was brought up about leaving the single market or the damage in general Brexit would do, you dismissed all of this. So now, for some reason, you have a concern for British workers. Where did this come from? Now, it's likely that businesses in Britain and in Northern Ireland in particular are putting pressure on their politicians to try and save manufacturing. But it's a bit pointless trying to ask a Brexiteer. Ian Paisley, of course, campaigned for Brexit, still believes Brexit was a good idea. He has a problem with the implementation of Brexit, but he still thinks Brexit was a good idea. It's a bit pointless asking him and others like him to try and save British manufacturing because they threw it under a bus. No pun intended. So Unfortunately, while the European Union is protectionist, the free marketeers in Britain who wanted to leave that protectionist market are now suffering the consequences of that. Now, what you could be doing is saying we need to be part of Europe so we can maintain manufacturing in Europe and ask the state to help support manufacturing in Europe. That's one way you could go. But if you believe in the free market, then you shouldn't have a problem with BYD exporting buses from China to Britain. The irony of all of this. And when it comes to climate change, remember him saying about green buses, the DUP, I don't believe in climate change. So why is he going down that road? Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.